everyone, and welcome to Take Two Radio. I'm Pam, your host, and joining me as my co-host today is David. Hello, David.
Hi, Pam. I hope you're feeling better this evening.
Cold is still with me, but thanks for asking. It's just one of those ones that are going to linger on and on and on. You know how that goes. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I think I feel about the same way. Mine is hanging on, too.
Oh, okay.
So
I guess you're going to have to do everything I do from now on, including getting my cold. Is that how that works?
Yes.
Well, let's hope our guests are all well and don't have colds or anything wrong. We have a whole bunch of them today. And we have with us award-winning director Joseph Pernice, actress and executive producer Sainty Nelsen, and I hope I'm saying her name correctly, actor Eric-Nelsen, and also actor David-a-Gregory. I know that we have Eric with us, and another person just phoned in. Who is this one here?
Hey, this is Joe Pernice.
Hi.
Hey, guys.
Good. I'm glad you made it.
Oh, thanks for having us.
You're very welcome. So are you both doing well? Nobody sick on your end?
Not yet, but the chill is here in New York.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good myself. Hey, Joe.
Hey, Eric.
Is everybody on the East Coast?
Yes. We're all East Coasters.
Okay. I'm the only
right
odd
now,
one.
though, except Sainty.
Where's she?
Right, Eric? Sainty's in Texas.
Yeah, exactly. She's down in Texas right now. We're getting married in a couple of weeks, so she's down there doing some planning. I'm going to meet her on Monday.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I didn't know if you did the deed already or not because she already uses the last name of Nelsen, so I kind of thought, well, I must have missed it, but no, we didn't, huh?
Yeah, she's using that as her professional name right now, so it's easier to kind of transition everything once the big day happens in a couple weeks.
Oh, okay. I get that. That makes a lot of sense. She's a very smart girl, and you're lucky to have her.
You don't have to tell me.
I think this might be Sainty. Sainty, are you with us? Hello?
This might be David-a-gregory. I don't think this is Sainty at all.
Hi, David.
Hey, how are you?
David?
Okay, so David. Okay, you guys are throwing me off. I thought David would be coming a little bit later.
Oh, I thought I'd call in a little early and just make sure that, see how everything was going.
That's okay. The more the merrier, and you're very welcome to be here, and we do appreciate everybody taking time out to join us.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I'd like to actually start out with a little background on everybody so that way our listeners know who you all are. And, Joe, you get to be the guinea pig and go first.
You could do the rest, Joe.
Oh, man. Who would you want to know?
Well, first off, I also want to share with our listeners that you're not only a director, but you're also a writer and a producer.
Correct.
Okay, and I read that you started out by working in the production and development office of Robert De Niro's Tribeca Productions.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is so awesome. What did you learn from working there that you use today?
Well, I was there. I worked my way up there. While I went to NYU, I was an intern there for 2 years, and then I was hired by the company to work directly for Jane Rosenthal, who is De Niro's producing partner. I worked behind her desk for a year, and then I moved into a coordinator role. You learn a lot there. You're learning from some of the best. You're seeing projects on studio level, a lot of developing and production on network TV shows, and you meet a lot of people, and you learn a lot from a lot of the talented people that you meet.
Well, it sounds like, between going to school for things, to learn what you want to be and working in the office, it's probably a good combination.
Yeah, you get to see it. When you go to film school, film school, sometimes they don't really teach you the business side. of the industry, and the industry it's a business. So working for Tribeca, you got to see the business side of it, and it helps me as more as a producer than a director there. So it's both, and it's I like to see the projects that I go out and I do as a producer. I like to be a creative producer on it, not just someone that's working with numbers, but someone that's helping with the story development and seeing it through from beginning to end.
Well, once you got a taste of the business side, if that didn't scare you off, nothing will. I think you're here to stay, right?
Yeah. And, this is my first feature as a director, and it was just a great experience all around. Just to see, I started writing the script in January of this year, and we started shooting October 2nd, and we wrapped just before Halloween. The 17-day shoot. 17
days? Isn't that a short time?
Yes, that is. It was 177 scenes in 17 days, but we got it all done.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I told Joe he was insane, and he totally did it. He was great.
Wow.
Yeah, there was a lot.
Did anybody sleep?
No, just me, maybe. But with low-budget independent features like this, you just know that every day just adds more dollar signs to it, and just knew that, okay, you know what, we can do this in 17 days, and we made a great schedule, and we put it together, and we shot a lot of exteriors, so we were always racing the sun or running away from the rain, and there were some scenes, some days where we were rained out. So within then that 17-day shoot, we had to find when we were going to do our reshoots. We couldn't afford to do it another time after we got production, principal photography. So we went in and we also did some reshoots too.
Wow. That's amazing. That really is. I mean, there's a lot of people that can learn from you. And with this even being your first time directing, it seems like you knew exactly what you wanted to do and how much time you wanted to get it done in.
Yeah, I mean, we had a great team behind us, and a lot of people just donating long hours just to get this done, and they believed in the script, and they believed in us, and couldn't do it without all those people.
Well, how did you choose the team that you'd be working with, as well as, the actors that you chose for each of the characters? So
it started with Courtney Baxter, who plays Jenny and is also one of the producers. She was working with me on this early on, and the crew was really divided from a couple of buddies of mine from NYU, people that I worked with before, and then Courtney brought on some of her crew that she worked on in her last couple of features, and it was Courtney that introduced me to Eric. And then when Eric and Sainty became involved, Sainty then, took the lead on just trying to find some cast and introduced us to David-a-Gregory. I had to use the A in there, David. and it just kept happening. People knew people, and everyone just came together, and we made moving.
That's really great, too, word of mouth, and traveling and getting people, because you can trust those people. You know that a friend is not going to tell you and recommend somebody to you that they don't think would be a good asset to your movie.
No, it's true, and you really need people, because on these low-budget features, you need people that are going to go above and beyond, and a lot of the crew, if not all, wore multiple hats. No one just came in with one duty. Everyone came in and whatever it be across departments just to get it done and to make sure that we weren't dead by the end of each day.
Right. That's for sure. Now, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about the movie without giving too much away, so that way our listeners will go and watch it when it's out.
Yeah. So with this film, I say it's a 4-quadrant picture, which means it's a film for everyone. So it's a coming-of-age story about this washed-up 20-something-year-old junior, who's played by Eric-Nelsen, and he's a one-time hometown hero. He's a cross-country star, and he's convinced by a local sweetheart to run a marathon and get his life back on track. So you have this kid that was in one time, or I'm hearing an echo there.
I am too, yeah.
Hello? There we go. So you have this this guy that was, on top of the world one day, and after a tragedy in his life, completely loses it all. He's now 2 years out of college. He doesn't have a job. His father's convincing him to take over the family business, and he's hooked on antidepressants. And it's not until he meets this girl that helps him get his life back on track. Both literally, and he's going to be running this marathon, which he once won a couple of years before.
It's great that you have a movie made for all, genres of people and all ages of people. I love those types of movies. You hate to have to tell your children you have to stay home because you can't go to the movies with me and your dad because there's stuff in there we don't want you to hear or see,
Yeah, and this one, we have so many different themes in it, and it has force behind it. It has that underdog story. It has that romance.
Right.
Really that, and it shows that anyone can get their life back on track.
Yeah, there's a moral to the story, so that's wonderful. It's an encouraging film.
Yeah, and it's also showing, too, it's timely in a way. You see Junior in our film, he had a full ride to Princeton University, and you see, okay, full ride to Princeton, but, and his father always says, on what, a cross-country scholarship? What are you going to do once you graduate? And that's kind of in the position that a lot of people are in now. They're getting these amazing degrees, going to amazing schools, but what are they doing day one after graduation? And they could have been on top of the world. It could have been that high school, even like basketball star, but they're not going to NBA. What are they doing?
Right, exactly. And it's so hard to get a job these days with all those degrees, so,
it's
a lot of people aren't making it.
Right, and it's how you handle it. And Junior, he's a fun character to watch, and his chemistry with Jenny, who's played by Courtney Baxter, is just great. And then we have David-a-gregory, who plays our villain. He was always David's character and Eric's character used to be rivals in high school, and now the rivalry continues.
I'm sorry, you went out a little bit. You said the rivalry continues?
Yes, between David's character and Eric's character.
Okay.
Yeah, and we had a great cast and a great supporting cast. Blanche Baker, Adam LeFevre, Steve Shirripa, Josh Flitter.
Yeah, I have to tell you, my husband was excited about what did you say Shirripa's first name is? Tony, right?
Steve Shirripa.
Steve. Oh, okay. See, because I didn't watch The Sopranos. He did. And I told him who was in the movie, and he's like, oh, I know that guy.
Yeah.
So he was excited about it.
He was great. We sent Steve the script over to Steve's representation, and he loved it, and came on and did 3 days on the set. And what's funny is Steve plays a priest.
Yeah. From one end to the next, we playing a bad guy and now a priest. I love that you can do that in movies. Now, Eric, you were on Guiding Light. Was that your first TV show that you were on?
It was, actually. That was my first appearance on TV ever, and it was on it literally for like an episode, but the character had been on it for years and years. But that was where it all started, yeah.
Well, I think David had a question.
Yeah.
My co-host, David, I guess I should make that clear.